Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of The Council. I'm Yusuf, and today it is Review Bonanza Week. So, this week, weekend really, a lot of content hit. And so I saw most of it because I got nothing to do. And so what I'm gonna do is throughout the week we're gonna be dropping reviews for all these movies. So today you are gonna be watching the Freaky review. Ooh. Then tomorrow we're gonna debut episode 3 on Spotify, Apple, etc. The full episode, and then Hillbilly Elegies review on YouTube. On Wednesday, we're going to be reviewing Ammonite, which is the Kate Winslet, Saoirse Ronan, like Oscar-y movie. And then on Thursday, I'm really excited for this. We're going to be reviewing Fat Man. That's the Mel Gibson weird Santa Claus hunting movie, which I'm so excited for. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have a new release kind of. So the full episode will release on Tuesday in podcast form. And then we're going to break it up into the 3 segments on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's what's going to happen on there. Excuse me. Wow. So anyway, in this review today, we're going to be reviewing Freaky. This is the new horror film from Blumhouse. It's directed by Christopher Landon, who I believe also did Happy Death Day. He directed the first one, and I think he co-wrote the second, which says a lot. And it stars Catherine Newton and Vince Vaughn and a bunch of other people that you don't know. And it's in theaters right now if theaters are open, and if theaters are not open, it's gonna maybe, they haven't officially said anything, but Universal has the deal with AMC for the 17-day PVOD release, and I'm thinking they might use it for this, which I would recommend them to. So maybe 17 days after the Friday the 13th that this was released, it'll be available for PVOD. So let's get right into this. I enjoyed the film. I think Freaky is a really, really fun film. It's not what I was expecting per se. It's a very campy film, and you can tell immediately the moment it starts with the title credits. Not even the credits, just the titles, and the way that it's kind of shot and acted and written. It's a very, very campy movie. It does not take itself seriously at all. It knows it's a stupid film, and I appreciate it for that. If you're gonna look at this kind of the same way you look at other Blumhouse films, especially like the upper tier Blumhouse films like Get Out, then yeah, obviously this is not as good. But if you look at this film the way that it is, and it's just a fun, campy teen horror comedy, not even horror, just slasher comedy, then I think you're really, really gonna enjoy this film. Now, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there were I think the movie goes too far. Not even too far. I just think the movie really goes for it. Let's say that's a better word. The movie really goes for it in 2 different aspects. First of all, this movie is extremely horny. Like, wow. Christopher Landon, I'm pretty sure that I said the same thing when I saw Happy Death Day 2. But the script and the way that it's shot is just so horny. There's so many different, like, not just sexual innuendos, but outright like conversations, like so many. Like if you have one, then sure, I understand, but they have so many. They even have a sex scene. They have a scene where, and it's very brief, you don't see anything, but still, I mean, there's so much sexual content in this film. It is kind of mind-blowing. It's insane, and it's also very like rapey, and I mean that everything is over the top with this film, right? Like everything is over the top. All the performances, all of the writing, all of the shots, all of the gore, everything is just over the top. It just is like, it's not even at an 11, it's like at a 65, right? Or 69, I should say. But I mean, when I first saw that and I saw how over the top everything was, I was like, this isn't really that good. But when you kind of accept the fact that it's over the top and everything is like that, then I think you're going to enjoy the film a lot more. All of the teen boys, like the jocks, are so rapey that it kind of makes you feel uncomfortable. And I know that they're trying to do like how a lot of movies are doing these days where it's like female empowerment. Everyone is a rapist, and so you have to feel good when all this whole over the top moment happens. Speaking of that, the ending of the film is so bad. It's so bad. And I got a warning I watched a couple reviews where they're like the ending of the movie is like so obviously just there to kind of say like it's lazily written. That's the problem with it. It's so clear that it was just kind of an add-on. Like the movie could have ended at a certain point, and I think if you watch the movie, you'll know what point that is, and it would have been completely fine. But instead, they drag it out to add this one extra scene that makes no sense in the there's no build up to it whatsoever, and it's so kind of useless. Like, why is it there other than to kind of push this narrative, right? Yeah, and the performances are not very good in this film, other than Catherine Newton and Vince Vaughn. I don't like Vince Vaughn, like, at all. He annoys the crap out of me, but he was really fun. He was really funny in this film. He really went for it. And same with Catherine Newton. Catherine Newton looks a lot like Amber Heard, I'm sorry to say, but she does, and that kind of added to me. Plus the character, it kind of added to why I didn't really like her character that much, which worked. It worked because she's playing, a serial killer for half of it, so it makes sense why you wouldn't like her. But she was good in the film. But everyone else was just, again, once you accept that it's over the top, it's fine. But it seems so much like a really bad student film where you kind of just get your friends to be in it, even though they kind of don't, act or whatever, because I've certainly done that. Like the character Alan Ruck plays, he plays a teacher, a woodshop teacher. Why is it always the woodshop teachers that are creeps? Like even at my school. Anyway, he is just so over the top. Like there's no way that this man would still have a job the way he treats his students. But it works in the context of the film. Everybody, like all of the weird kind of students, like again, they do stuff that makes no sense, and all of that. There's one moment, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's one moment where Millie is the character that Catherine Newton plays, and the butcher is Vince Vaughn, but they swap, right? So it's Millie and Vince Vaughn's body, and Millie's crush is this boy named Booker, which is in the trailer. It's fine. And then there's a moment in the film, I can't believe it, but there's a moment in the film where it's just Vince Vaughn and this kid played by Uriah Sheldon. And I looked it up. He's 23, so it's fine, technically. But there's a moment where they're sitting there, and they're in a car, and one's in the front, one's in the back, and it's just them. And so the kid moves to the back seat, scooches close to Vince Vaughn, starts making out with Vince Vaughn. And then they're like, we should probably wait until I'm back in the other body. And they just kind of cuddle. And I'm like, what the hell did I just watch? Like it was just, it worked again in the context of the film, but I was just like, I don't know. Also the film is extremely gory, like extremely gory and graphic. But again, it works with the type of film this is. I mean, every single point here that I'm making would be a negative, but the fact that they're all kind of made together tells me that it was a creative choice by Christopher Landon to go so over the top, to just be super like campy, silly, ridiculous, that it kind of all works together. Excuse me. The one thing I didn't like about the film that really pissed me off, and it always pisses me off when they do this, but Millie, the character that Catherine Newton plays, is supposed to be like this really, everyone, like no one notices her in school, and all like the loser type. But here's what I don't know. First of all, Catherine Newton is like, she's really good looking, right? So, but take that aside, right? If we look at how Hollywood depicts people who are good looking, it's always white, blonde, blue eyes, petite build, and all that. And so she literally fits the bill for good-looking teenage girl in horror movie. So all this time when she's like, if I was really in a horror movie, I'd, if my life was a horror movie, I'd die first. I'm like, bitch, why? Like, you would be the hero of the film. And she is the hero of the film, right? And there's even like a transformation that happens. But all she did was put on a red jacket. I don't understand why everyone was like, who's that? It's like, it's exactly the same girl, except she put her hair in a ponytail and put on a red jacket. Like, I don't understand. I would have much rather had them kind of add an extra layer of kind of like commentary by maybe casting somebody who doesn't fit the exact criteria of good looking person in a Hollywood film. But they didn't, and I guess it's fine because Catherine Newton worked and she, had her Amber Heardness, so it added to the unlikability factor of the character. But I mean, it was she did a good job. I don't want to take anything away. So yeah, overall, I think Freaky you have to enjoy it for what it is, and it's a stupid, campy horror film. Not even horror, again, stupid, campy, funny slasher film that's really, 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 really over the top in every single aspect, in its sexuality, in its gore, and its performances, and everything. Every single aspect of the film is over the top, and that's why it works, because everything is if only one thing was over the top, like if only the acting was that bad, I'd be like, it's pretty weak. But the fact that everything just adds to the kind of feel of the film. And I walked out feeling like, this was fun. This was a good time. So that is my review of Freaky. It is out now in theaters, and maybe will be coming to PVOD in 17 days. I don't know. Universal doesn't. Isn't it funny? I found this really funny. Isn't it funny that in the beginning of this pandemic, Universal kind of did like a victory lap and was like, screw you, theaters, we're going to do this ourselves. Ah. And theaters like, yeah, screw you, Universal, we'll do this ourselves. Ah. And now, if you literally walk down like a hall of, like we have a hall of posters for like coming soon, and literally every single movie with the exception of Wonder Woman 1984 and the Black Messiah movie, everything is Universal, and everything that's coming out is Universal. And I just think that's really, really funny, the kind of shift that happened. But yeah, that is my review. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to this channel for more movie reviews and segments from our podcast. If you like this, you're probably also going to like our podcast. Check it out. It's called The Council. We have new episodes on every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all over. Follow us on Twitter at The Council Pod, and on Instagram at _CouncilPod. It's a really fun podcast. We talk all things movies. There's, I think, 6 or 7 of us. We're getting, guest hosts coming in. It's going to be a really, really fun time. With a new episode tomorrow. Ooh. So check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Oh, hey. Thanks for watching. And remember, full episodes are available wherever you get your podcasts.
With new episodes Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Links in the description box.
And be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to stay caught up to date with The Council.
Boys, I'm excited.